Hello, welcome to TLOL 1010. I'm Jamie Lee Gerzon. I'm your instructor. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the tasks for week 2. So just as an overview, this week you are going to be working through 2 learning modules. You'll be doing modules 3 and 4. There is an assignment called QM Standard 1, and that's going to be due by Thursday, April 23rd at midnight. And then the other assignments will be due by Sunday, April 26th at midnight. There is another discussion this week, and then there's an assignment dealing with managing the online classroom. So let's look at the course and talk about some of the tasks. So I'm going to go through some of the tasks for this week. Keep in mind that I'm looking at the course from the instructor view, so it's going to look a little bit different than it would for you as the student looking at it from the student view, but the information is the same. So learning module 3, in this module, you're going to start working with your practice course. So everybody has a shell that has been created for you in the CNM development site. And some of the work that you do this week is going to involve entering information into that shell and just kind of practicing with it. So you're going to work on developing your individualized course menu, and you're also going to add some introductory information to your course shell. So we have the overview, and again, when you're viewing this as a student, you will see these items individually and you'll move through them one by one. As an instructor, I'm able to see everything at once. So you'll have your overview page. You will watch some videos that talk about exemplary online courses, so to see some examples of what an exemplary course might look like. And then you'll have some readings to complete, and then you'll do the QM Standard 1 assignment. So QM Standard 1 has been created by Quality Matters. These Quality Matters standards have been developed to help instructors make sure their courses are meeting particular guidelines. And CNM uses these standards to also try to align all of the courses that are taught by CNM to make sure that all instructors are designing their courses to meet these guidelines. So there's different standards, and each of the standards has multiple parts to it. So this week we're just going to be looking at Standard 1, and this has information about kind of introducing students to the course and getting started with the course. It discusses the course overview and introduction, so introductory information, and you can read through these different parts of the standard. And then we have lots of resources to help you as you're working in your shell and trying to add information to your course. So we've got some CNM resources, and then also information from Blackboard specifically about how to edit items and kind of work within Blackboard as an instructor. And then we also have the Quality Matters resources as well. So keep in mind that these resources are available for your help, and you should read through them to kind of get a general idea of what they're about. And then you're going to access your practice shell. So it is located in the development server. So this is actually a separate website than the regular CNM Learn Blackboard website where our course is located and where your other courses probably have shells. It's actually at cnmdev.blackboard.com. So there's a link to it right here in this item. And when you click that link, you're going to be taken to a place that looks something like this. So the setup is the same as Blackboard, but this is the site where instructors kind of build their shells and work on creating content. And then once you've got a shell done, you can request to have that copied over into one of your regular courses for an upcoming semester. As you can see, I've got lots of them in here. I'm in some of the English shells. So these are shells that have been built by instructors in the English department. I was asked to be allowed into those shells so I could see what the instructors had done and maybe use some of that content for my own courses. And then I have everybody in our course, I am also in our TLOL course, I am also able to access your practice shells as well. So the way that these practice shells are set up is that you are included as an instructor in your shell. I'm also included as an instructor, so I can get in there and kind of see what's going on. You won't see everybody's, you will probably just see your own. So I'm just going to open one of them just to kind of show you. I'm going to open Isabella's because hers is at the very top here. When you first go into your practice shell, it's going to be sort of blank. It's going to have lots of places for you to fill in information, but it also will have sort of the key components of course shells that CNM wants to have in everybody's shell. So everybody's shell should have a welcome page, which is the first page that you see when you enter the course. There's a Start Here module, and that's got information, several different pages, as you saw in the Start Here module for our course, kind of introducing students and guiding students through the necessary information to get started. You'll have a syllabus. I'm seeing right now, and this may be something that they've added to have you guys notice that this discussions shouldn't be here. It should just be instructor information, but for now we'll leave that alone. You're basically this week going to be working in the instructor information section, so let's review the tasks that you're actually going to do in the shell, and then I'll come back to the shell. So you're going to be trying to apply this QM Standard 1 as your building material in your shell. So these are the different steps that you're going to take to practice in your shell. So you're going to modify the student introduction. You're also going to modify the instructor information page. And then you're going to create a welcome page, modify your Start Here module, and then add an announcement. So read through these kind of detailed steps that you are being asked to do. And then once you've modified these items in your shell, then you're going to create a document where you write a paragraph explaining how you're meeting each of the QM standards for Area 1 in the shell. So you will, let's see, before we get into that, so modifying the student introduction, you're going to go to the discussion board. Maybe that's why the discussions are right here. Okay, so you'll click discussions, and then this class introductions discussion board, that's the one that you're going to modify. So take a look at that and see how you can change it to fit your particular course, or what information you think it would be useful for students to share in your course as part of the introductory discussion that's usually completed during the first week of the course. Then you're going to modify the instructor information page. So you'll go to instructor information, which is near the top of the course menu. You'll click that. And then you're going to fill this in. So in order to edit this information, you're just going to click this little arrow. So whenever you see an item next to the title of the item, there will be a little arrow pointing down. And if you click that, it'll give you the option to edit it. So you can go in here and edit this page with information that is personalized to you. For the picture, if you click on the picture, you see it highlights blue, and then the option to insert or edit an image appears. So if you don't select the picture, you won't have that option to edit the image, but if you actually select this little happy face here, then you can go into this insert edit image, and from there you can attach a file that you want to be used as your image. So you'll browse your computer, select a file, and you can play around with how big the image appears. If you go to this appearance tab, you can change the dimensions. So I usually do the constrained proportions because it keeps it proportional, but I mean 150 by 150 is a pretty good size. It keeps it relatively small. If you have 700 or 1,000, it's going to be really big and it may look kind of strange on the page, but you can play around with that. You'll just, once you've attached your file, before you adjust the appearance, I would just update it and see how the picture looks. If it looks too big or too small, you can go back in and go to the appearance tab and then play around with the dimensions until you get it to the size that you like. And then you're also going to include course information and expectations for your particular course. So you can see these different items in here. You will add text kind of describing what students can expect for each of these different items. Then you're going to, number 3 on this list, create a welcome page, modify your Start Here module, and add an announcement. So the welcome page, like I said, is this first page that appears in the course. So you can modify this to meet your needs of whatever you want to say to students. It's a good idea to leave these instructions here where it says click on the words Start Here in the course menu on the left to begin, at least during the first week, so that when students log in, they know where to go right away. And then you're going to go to the Start Here module and add the information for your particular course. Let's see, let me just double check. Yeah, so particularly the course overview and the outcomes for your course. So if you go to Start Here, which is the second item in the course menu near the top, this should look familiar. You read most of these pages. This third item is what they're talking about. So you would click Edit, and then this information is probably going to come directly from your syllabus. So you'll add the course description, and then you'll add the course level outcomes. Okay. And then finally, you're going to add an announcement. So you're going to practice creating an announcement indicating communication and participation expectations, and then any other information you think students need to know. This announcement would likely be sent out the first week of the semester or right before the class starts. To get to announcements, it's located under course communication in the course menu. And then you'll select Create Announcement. And then you'll give it a subject and you'll include the information necessary. And then you have the option to restrict it by date. So if you leave it as not date restricted, then it'll be always available to students unless you make it not available. If you do date restricted, you can set it to display after a certain time and or display until a certain time. I usually use the display until feature. So if I'm sending an announcement right before the class begins or the first week of class, I'll set it up to display until the last day of that week, so that it's up for a week, students can see it, and then it'll go away after a week. I suggest with the announcement, so you also have the option to send a copy of the announcement immediately, and that's the way that I've been sending my announcements to you all. So I write the announcement, and then I click send a copy, and it goes to your email. So this is a good way to kind of make sure that you're covering the communication in two ways. Students will see the announcement when they log into Blackboard, and they'll also get it as an email. So if they're not checking their email, they'll still see it, or if they haven't logged into Blackboard lately, but they do check their email, they'll still see it. But my strategy before I do email announcement is I submit it first to make sure the formatting looks okay. Sometimes the text that you type into this message box, the formatting gets a little messed up once you actually submit it. So once you're sure that you like the way it's formatted and the way that it looks, you can also click send a copy of this announcement immediately, and it will go out to students immediately. Keep in mind that if you go back in to edit this announcement and you have this box checked, it will keep sending it to them when you click submit. So you only want to check this box once, and then if you go back in to edit it, uncheck the box before you submit it. Okay, so that's pretty much what you need to do in your course, but make sure you read through these instructions carefully to see what exactly you should be including. Once you've completed that, then you'll do part 2. You'll basically create a document and write a paragraph explaining how you've met each of these areas in QM Standard 1. Oh, this is the document. Let's see what this document is. So you actually don't have to create a document. You can just fill in this table here. So it has each of the specific review standards from QM that you're aiming for. And then the annotations describe what you should be doing to meet those standards. And then you're going to fill in your evidence in this final column. So what did you actually do in your practice course that is aligning with these QM standards? And then you'll save the document, and then you will submit it when you're ready. So when you select this assignment, the title of the assignment, it'll give you an option to submit it. You'll attach the file where you completed the table and then select submit. So that is the task for Module 3. And then you're going to move into the tasks for Module 4. So, it's being a little slow. I'm just going to go directly to Module 4. And again, the modules are set for adaptive release, so you won't be able to see Module 4 until you've completed everything in Module 3. So Module 4 is looking at classroom management. You're going to think about ways to kind of manage your classroom, respond to problems, and identify techniques, and then think about how does face-to-face classroom management compare to online. And a lot of these issues have already come up in some of our discussions and some of the work that you've done. So you'll continue kind of thinking about this topic. So the tasks, there's a video to watch, and then you'll have some readings. You'll do the discussion about classroom management, and then you'll have an assignment. So these are the readings. There's also a video. This is the discussion. So you'll complete that. And this is due by Sunday night at midnight. And you, as you've been doing for the other two discussions, you'll have your initial post, and then you'll respond to at least 2 of your colleagues' posts in order to get credit. And then you're going to complete a management statement. So you're going to read the article, 10 Effective Classroom Management Techniques. And then you're going to create a document and answer these questions, thinking about how are you going to manage your online classroom. And there is an example here of what a document like this might look like. So just kind of details about what issues you expect to arise and how you are going to address these issues. Okay, so that's an overview of the tasks for this week. I hope that helps. Let me know if you have questions, and I can always help you as you're working in your practice course in the development site. And I also will be available during office hours this Thursday from noon to 1. So I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for your attention. Bye.